But Disco, I had saw something that you had tweeted. Wanted to bring this up here because I thought it was interesting. It was you were talking about the Tiger Driver 91 from Omega and Ospreay, and you literally think that Ospreay slipped on that move?
No. Here's what I was saying. I find out. I mean, bro, if that's a move, it's crazy that they even did it. Like if that's how it was supposed to be executed. What I was saying is, I thought he was picking him up for a tiger bomb.
Tiger bomb.
Okay. Yeah, tiger bomb. And if you look, when you do that, that requires a lot of strength from both guys hooking each other at the elbow, right?
Mm-hmm. But you know what it actually looks like?
What do you mean?
Just like he did it.
Just like he did it. Yeah. Kenny was supposed to get dropped
because they even showed a video of Misawa doing
it, which is
and him right next to him, and I was like, bro, it's the same move. Yeah. Wow,
how
forgotten about that move.
How stupid do you got to be to do that?
That's what I was trying to say on the round.
Look, if you're doing that, you're doing like the same thing that Nash did to the Giant, where it looked like the Giant broke his neck.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you actually think that, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Gotcha. Okay, saying that this was there's supposed to be a flat back bump. If they're actually wanted to do that move for a shoot, that's.
I'm gonna say this. Hey, Larry.
Yes, sir.
You're more into Japanese wrestling than we are. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you followed it more. Do you think that in their mind, because these people are such hardcore fans, and one of the things that they love are clapbacks, that they were doing like a clapback homage, and the people were going to understand it and pop and go, holy, they did that move that Misawa or no?
I think it was directly the Tiger Driver 91. I had actually messaged somebody because I had gotten a text message from a friend at ESPN actually that night going like, hey, I'm going to sound like a super mark, but how do you do that move safely? What happened?
Was that real? Yeah.
Just how do you do that safely?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I have no idea. I watched it 20 times. I have no idea. And I had texted somebody in AEW and I said, dude, super inside baseball. Obviously, I've never done moves like that in my career or taken moves like that. Most dangerous thing I ever took was a German suplex. Was just how do you do that safely? And he just responded to me. He's like, I think I said, how do you do that without landing on your neck? And the response I got was, I don't think you can.
Yeah, you know what's coming. You know it's going to be a difficult landing. You just know.
Now you would know better, guys. You've taken way more.
That's what I think. But I just can't believe you must really be a daredevil, an adrenaline junkie, have a horseshoe, a rabbit's foot, and a Lucky Charm up your. To have somebody land on all your weight on your neck and not think, bro, there's a good chance I might be paralyzed, snap something, break something, tear something, just stay there. I don't know. Just looks dangerous to me.
I don't know about
is he maybe landing on the top of his back and then his neck, but it doesn't look like that.
It looked like at best the top of the back,
neck,
the back of the head,
maybe, but wow.
At best, I don't know about Lucha or even what you guys did, but I know a lot of the Japanese do neck bridges all the time in their training, legitimately to the point where they can rotate their head to their forehead, which I don't know. Yeah, they
spin around in one spot. Yeah, I saw that when I was there.
Crowbar had said weeks ago to stop doing neck bridges because it's bad for your neck. As a chiropractor, he said it's going to cause major neck and back pain. Misawa, ironically, I guess, maybe the wrong word to say, he died in the ring. On a very basic bump because of the degeneration of the neck from all the bumps he took.
So did Pedro Aguayo Jr., and I was in that match.
And I think they died of the same cause of death, Konnan. Larry, what did they say Misawa died of? What is it, a cervical...
Well, if the top vertebrae goes, that's your spinal cord.
They call it a severed cervical thing.
Yeah, it
was the same injury, I think, Konnan.
Yeah, the higher up your spinal cord, the vertebrae are, the more dangerous you are to endgame. You want to have.
Bro, this is so stupid. Okay, everybody literally saw the move. It's idiotic. Okay,
it's not recommended.
Bro, it's not recommended. It's idiotic. You're dropping somebody. We know. We saw what happened. Like people that just don't understand. Common sense. Bro? That's how you get herniated discs in your neck. That's how these guys have these neck injuries and stuff from taking bumps like that. Okay, and like to think that, of all that you're going to do in your match, okay, and all the things that they did and stuff, everything, and like, that you had to do that for why? For the stars?
Now what do you?
That whole show, okay, was a bunch of wrestlers that basically perform for an audience of critics. Okay, Well, let's face the facts. If you read a lot of the wrestling fans today are smart marks. They're educated by the dirt sheets, and they're educated by the dirt sheets on who the good workers are and stuff. But they never call out ever that the type of work that these people are doing is very risk averse. That there's a high percentage of injury for risk in what these guys are doing. That could have been a catastrophic injury. Bryan Danielson broke his forearm. I think there was another injury on the show. Bro, these guys and you had a big audience of people that love this. The dirt sheet guys are talking about, wow, this is the greatest wrestling ever. Bro, they don't even know how to protect themselves.
What do you think is?
I mean, what are we doing? Like what is the end game? Okay, for wrestling drawing smaller crowds than they've ever drawn before, and
they're
this is
doing
what they think.
at Wembley.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, bro, the total viewership of wrestling fans have become more passionate. Okay, they've as the audience is getting smaller, they've congregated together and become more passionate about the product over the course of time, like 10 to 15 years, we could say, right?
Correct.
So what you do is you have these audiences, you have fans, and I look at stuff like this, that type of work where these guys are breaking arms and risking. I think that's fetish work. I think that if you take the principles of professional wrestling, where we're supposed to make it look as real as possible with protecting ourselves and protecting our opponent, what they're doing in the ring is almost like a fetish of professional wrestling. They're risking.
But you know what?
I'm just saying that's in my opinion. That's
no. Well,
who
else's opinion? Are you speaking for somebody else? But anyways, here's the thing, bro, and you got to remember there are guys that they don't give a. They don't protect themselves, or if they even break something.
I mean, the
just
amount
to
of people
please
that don't
the
put their
fans.
hand up, the amount of people that don't put their hand up to take the kicks to the head. It's like crazy, right? Yeah.
And they want it to look as realistic as possible. And if they get knocked out in the process, they do. There's people like that. And I think in the Japanese wrestling, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Larry, because I was a huge fan in the 90s of women's.
All Japan women? Yeah.
Yeah, and All Japan Man and New Japan and Pancreas and everything that was out there. I liked all of that. But even back then, there was sort of a macho, or how they call over there, strong spirit, fighting spirit, landing on your head, knocking somebody out with a forearm. Like that was accepted and even expected. Am I right or am I wrong? And this is what they're still doing 20 years later.
Yeah, that shows you. That shows
let him answer. I just want to hear what he has to say because I don't know.
They're gonna lay it in there, and it has to look real, because they'll tell you, like, they go shuto, like, because they're like literally the baby faces and the heels get on separate tour buses, or if they're on the same tour bus, get dropped off 4 blocks before the arena so they don't get off with the baby faces. Like, it's still as real as it can be with it being known that it's not. It is, you talk to a Japanese fan or a Japanese guy, they'll be like,
they like hard chops, they like hard forearms, they like that,
right? All that stuff, because it's
the slapping,
because you feel the contact, you hear the contact, and you go like, I know. It's like the Johnny Valentine. Like they might think this is fake, but my match is going to be real.
Different culture in Japan, trying to bring that style to the United States, where everybody and their mother has been educated that the work makes no sense.
Well, what do you think's worse, that or like a ladder match?
Huh?
What do you think's worse?
Ladder match?
Yeah, like you think falling off the ladders is better?
No. I mean,
but here's the thing: whether you like it or I like it or don't like it, they have an audience for it.
Exactly. I'm not arguing, because I tweeted,
that was their third biggest pay-per-view.
I'm trying to describe what the audience is and what they are fans of. Okay, and I still say that audience is kind of like because you're not going to find, look at the WWE. They do storytelling. Okay, and they're drawing 2 to 3 times as many fans as the AEW, and they draw way more than the Japanese guys, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to have more fans nationally on a weekly basis that are going to be invested in stories, and you're going to have a very small amount of fans that are going to be like this showcase. Because, bro, let's face the facts. All the matches on that show were strictly designed basically to compete against each other for quality of the match. Like, what was the best match? Because, bro, the build-up with like these matches weren't built up with any episodic storytelling or storylines.
No, you had to know.
A guy showed up, and they stood there, they stared at each other, or like a guy.
No, but the last show they did a good job of building up for this pay-per-view.
Okay, right.
The last Dynamite. So? Yeah.
What was built? I wasn't interested in any of this stuff. Maybe you weren't interesting,
but they did build it up.
By Will Ospreay attacking Kenny Omega. Okay, that's.
He wasn't the only one that came out. There were other people that came out.
The storylines were 1 minute. There wasn't like there was episodic storytelling for weeks.
Because as we've said before, they over deliver to their fans. All their fans basically know who this is. They know that we're the ones going. What the going on? Because we don't watch New Japan.
I agree. My point is that fan base is kind of like, if you think about it,
it's almost like if you had it's almost community. It's almost like if, let's say, all of a sudden AAA had TV in the United States and we went to let's say Chicago, where they bring out the horns and the drums, and we brought all these Mexicans you never heard of, but when they come out, they get big pops and people are chanting. You go, well, since I don't know him, this guy isn't over. Since I don't know him. But they don't do a good job of guys like you and me that aren't watching New Japan Wrestling, right, and thousands and maybe others saying, hey, this is who this guy is. Here's a video package. This is his backstory. They don't really do a good job of that.
This is that show reminds me of if the XFL championship game would have sold out. That's what that fan base reminds me of. It's like they like wrestling. It's like okay, they like the XFL, but it's like I like the NFL. I'm not a fan of the XFL.
But unlike the XFL, they actually have some stars.
I'm not saying that, but my point is, even though both of them are doing the exact same thing, they're playing the exact same game, I'm more interested in the NFL. That's because the XFL is like, I don't know these guys. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's why. And that's the way the Japanese stuff kind of is me. I don't, their fans have a history and know these people. They watch them on YouTube. They were, they watch it. They know them. I don't. And
Let me ask you a question, Larry.
You're not going to go ahead.
Do you still watch New Japan and Japanese promotions?
I'll jump in for big matches. I read and follow everything. I don't have the bandwidth time to watch as much stuff I want.
Me neither. That's why I don't watch it.
And that's
something has to not be watched. I decided not to watch New Japan.
Perfect example. I watched Collision on Saturday night.
So did I.
And I watched a Tanahashi guy, and I'm this guy can't even walk.
Well, because
something like why might that didn't even interest me in watching him against MJF, because I'm thinking MJF better go over, because I was watching
what an ugly looking frog splash he did too.
Bro, the guy's knees are shot. That's the story.
Why do it?
Because you have to play the hits, right? I guess. But that was not a. If that was your first time seeing,
which is a shame, because Tanahashi's badass.
It is a shame, because that is a guy playing the greatest.
Larry, we used to call this the Lucha Libre minute. We're on about 30. Right. We're way beyond 1 minute here. We're well over half an hour, and we had to suffer through your Sabu stories, the bad ones. But let's wrap it up.
Okay, just one question for you, and this is it. I just want you to rank it. What to you is worse? That do-si-do lucha stuff that you hated from Rampage 3 weeks ago that you were going off about, the Omega bump, or Santino with the snake? What is the worst? What do you think is the worst part of wrestling then? Because you don't like the Japanese strong style stuff.
I've been and guys, with the lack of common sense with prevention of injury. The lack of I've been like that for years. Konnan said I've been like this for years.
Right, but you got to also understand there's some guys that don't care if they get hurt.
I'm aware of that, but that's my.
There's some guys that are pain junkies.
You ask me what's worse. I think that teaching people and promoting unsafe stuff and having people copycat the unsafe stuff, I'm not there for it. I think I think it's gonna be very bad, because bro, the trolls and the media and stuff and thing. if wrestling has a catastrophic injury, it's going to be a lot of negative press from the outside, looking in on this. And that's what I'm worried about, is that this professional wrestling, if there's a catastrophic injury and they show what these people are doing and what caused the injury on Nash, and it goes viral and it makes news, people are going to be wondering, what were they doing here? And then what can happen is, okay, nobody's thinking about this, is then the commissions might start coming back and tightening the grips on the pro wrestling business again. And the worst thing for wrestling business is commissions. Konnan will attest to that. These people are, there's all these rules and stuff. I think they may start trying to regulate again if people are going out there
knowing WWE and how they finesse everything, they'd probably come out and say, "Hey, we will ban that move from here on out, and we'll take safety measures." And they have professionals come in and put them over. They're look at what they did with Eddie. Boy, he passed away, and Benoit wellness test.
Right.
That shut everybody up.